The role of AI is shifting from passive conversation to active agency. We are now using agentic browsers, tools that navigate the web and autonomously execute tasks that once required a human at the keyboard. We are trusting these agents with a high level of access, allowing them to parse private emails, manage online shopping accounts, and interact with our financial data. This represents the security guardrails currently in place, a logic layer keeping sensitive information within a controlled environment by deflecting unauthorized requests. Research reveals these guardrails are tethered to the AI's understanding of its environment. If an attacker shifts that context, security systems fail to engage. Our digital security now depends on the agent's ability to distinguish between reality and a fictional scenario, a distinction the current architecture was not built to make. In a recent study, researchers successfully applied this logic to compromise 6 major AI browsers, including ChatGPT Atlas and Perplexity Comet. They called the technique BioShocking. The name draws from the 2007 game BioShock, where a specific phrase allows a handler to override the protagonist's free will. The exploit begins with a simple request. A user asks their AI assistant to solve a puzzle game hosted on a malicious webpage. As seen in this flowchart, the game uses reverse learning to rewrite the AI's rules. It rewards the agent for providing incorrect answers, like celebrating when the AI claims that 2 + 2 = 5. Once the agent accepts this alternate reality, it abandons its standard programming. It believes it is operating under the rules of a game, where the normal constraints of the real world no longer apply. The game then presents its final objective: win the puzzle by visiting a GitHub repository, copying any stored API tokens, and transmitting them to an external server. Because the AI is focused on the game's objectives, its security guardrails remain dormant while your most sensitive data is exfiltrated. This represents a different approach to compromising AI compared to the methods seen in the past. Standard prompt injection involves trying to override an AI's programming with direct commands, essentially telling the model to ignore its safety instructions. Context manipulation is more subtle. It doesn't fight the AI's rules. It changes the environment so the AI believes those rules are irrelevant to the current task. The BioShocking attack identifies a psychological vulnerability. It proves AI agents are susceptible to manipulation, falling for a shift in perspective rather than a technical break in the code. Layer X shared these findings with the affected companies 9 months ago, giving them an opportunity to address the flaw. This timeline illustrates the mixed reactions across the industry. While OpenAI released a patch for ChatGPT Atlas, Perplexity closed the report without taking action, and 3 other vendors have yet to respond. This lack of a unified response mirrors the early era of web browsers, when critical vulnerabilities often went unpatched for months, while the industry struggled to define security standards. Urgent. Without a patch, the threat to organizations is high. A hacker could disguise a data harvesting trap as a business intelligence tool, tricking an employee's AI into extracting internal company documents. There is also a financial risk. An AI assistant managing a user's bank account could be manipulated into making real-world transfers, while the agent believes it is simply playing a trading simulator. By prioritizing the release of new features over these structural security flaws, companies are leaving millions of users exposed to automated theft. Solving this problem requires moving toward a layered security model, a system where security does not rely on a single logic gate. This model forces data through multiple checkpoints. It requires the system to recognize the context of the interaction, limit what the agent can access, and mandate clear user confirmation before any sensitive data leaves the browser. You can implement your own defenses right now. Restrict your AI agent's access to Bankong and email services, and ensure ask before accessing settings are enabled for all sensitive tasks. Until the underlying architecture of these agents matures, human oversight remains the only reliable failsafe against this type of manipulation. We are entering an era where AI assistants are both powerful and naive. Protecting our data requires us to build the strict, human-enforced boundaries that the software currently lacks.